Start. Okay, am I live? Yes, I'm live. Hello, everyone. I'm back. So I'm back because I had an interesting chat today with two of the females that were there, like two of the first ones that were there. And they do want to tell their story because they really haven't spoke out. You know, I told you guys some things that, you know, I have firsthand knowledge too, but they'll be able to tell you guys more of the things, you know, they know that I know some of it, but I really can't say because it's just what I heard. So, yeah. So, I'm waiting on one of them to hit me up first. We'll have them come on one at a time. So, and yeah, so I'm just waiting right now for one to hit me up. And then we're going to bring her on. And then we'll bring the other one on. Let me check my chat. What's going on? Who's out there? I see two people. Hey, Repent and Rise. How you doing? I found a little music that ain't too, you know, too bad. That I can play and won't get penalized for. Yeah, so yeah, we had a chat on Messenger with two of the girls, and yeah, they wanted to hear their story. And Ray, she was supposed to come on last night, but she worked late, so you know. But she texted me earlier and was like, tonight. I was like, okay, if you want to. So she wants to. So, and she said 8 o'clock. So that's her time. She's in Eastern time zone. I'm in Central, so hopefully I got it right. Okay, let me send this other thing. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. What did I do? Okay, so let me send this link to this other lady. In just a few more minutes, y'all. Okay, where I gotta go? Gotta get used to going back and forth on all these different screens. All right. Okay, so someone's typing. Okay. Ray says she'll be ready in about 15 minutes. Okay. Let me type her back. Text her back. I'll dry. I got water today, y'all. Okay. That's cool, Ray. She just got in the house, so I'm gonna give her a little bit. So what y'all been doing all day? Let me pull the chat back up. Every time I touch the screen, the chat goes away, and I forget to pull it back up. Okay. And pull all this other screen up. Make sure I'm ready. So this is gonna be interesting. Hopefully it'll go smooth. with, you know, I never had no one join me on here before, so I get to do some things for the first time with using this app. Seems pretty simple. Let me see, I think I might have one other song I can play. That's not too bad. Oh, not that bad. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. I'm on the mission, no intermission or breaks. So driven that I'm drifting on the collision with great politics and decisions. Shift at a different pace, but my intuition is shifting. I'm twisting and bending fate. I'm on a mission, no intermission or breaks. So driven that I'm drifting on the collision with great politics and decisions. Shift at a different pace. Little rap for ya. They can't see me, basically I'm the future. And my medulla reads up like a computer. I introduce her, she's the users, the losers. No, I play a seducer. Booty like Medusa in line with the wrong class. I'm telling you, there's no symmetry. We don't have chemistry, what you talking about history. I'm metaphysically killing them without energy. I mean, I'm literally coming up with this in my sleep. Until I speak, they think it's just a piece of shit. Like, yeah, these screens keep changing. So, yeah, let's listen to the music. So, yeah, the show yesterday ended up being an hour. I had no idea I could talk that long about that. So, who did workout? Anybody? I did work out today. I was going to do some yoga until they told me they wanted to do this. So I was like, I come do this and just stretch. I stretched on my own. Can y'all see my background of my city? And my grandkids is here right now. Quit scaring your little brother. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back in. No, because we're talking about grown people stuff, so. Okay. You're gonna have to go back. What kind of grown stuff? What do you mean, what kind? Talking about. Is it keep building? I'm gonna try. Well, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna do that. Repent. Thank you. Okay, Josiah, go. Girl, quit playing.
Okay, Julian, come on.
Yeah.
I'm digging down.
Hey, Dirty Black, how are you? I ain't seen you in a minute. Go in the room with your sister until I finish. Well, okay. Over there, you can go over there, JVI. Okay. Just keep that turned down, okay? Okay. I like the jazz. That's better. That's what kind of mood I'm in right now. What's up, Dirty Black? Did you come to do some exercise? You thought I was doing some exercise or something? I'm talking to the thing, baby. Okay. My message from her, so I have to change.
Mama said don't sit like you.
Oh, my mic's on mute. So do that, okay? Now, bye.
Just me.
Both of you.
Come on. Now the spaceship.
There.
Okay.
About to go to bed. Peace. Page R. Pager. Love it, page R. Yeah, so gonna have a good show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Find out some more information about this nature boy and how it all began. Because like I said, these two ladies, they were there in the beginning. Like a whole month. Yeah, a whole month before I got there. So there's nothing there. Can y'all hear the music? Excuse me. Yeah, it's a quiet night in Kansas City, which is good, especially for where I live, because I live, like, if you know anything about the city, Kansas City, I live not downtown, but close to a lot of the districts where they do partying and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri. There's two Kansas cities. A lot of people don't understand that. There's Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas is a state. And then there's Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri is a state, but they're right next door to each other. And Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri is like on one side, about 5 miles away. So you can just cross over the border real quick from Missouri to Kansas. So, yeah. But Kansas City, Missouri, where I live, is really cool. We're like #2 in the world for the most fountains. So we're second to Paris. Yeah, a lot of people get confused because when you say Kansas City, people think of Kansas, the state of Kansas, but it's Kansas City is a city itself. There's one in Kansas City, Kansas, but there's also one in the state of Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. So yeah, they both red states though. So. But what else? Let's see. Yeah, so we second to Paris with the most fountains. And we have a jazz museum because jazz was one of the first things that was real big here back in the day. And yeah, maybe I can get some footage of some of the. Oh my goodness, hold on, y'all. My 4-year-old girl is going crazy.
Greetings.
Hey, Raymond.
Hey, how are you?
You're on. Okay,
I had the camera on, but I'm gonna turn it
good.
off for a minute.
Um,
Hey, but I
you can
won't
have it
stay
on
on
if
here
you
the whole
want.
time.
Hold on, let me check something real quick because this is my first time to make sure that you're on here, okay?
Okay.
And let me check the screen. Okay, so, okay, you're not on here, so I got to do something to put you on here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, you all, she's here, and I got to figure this out. One moment. Okay, my mic's muted.
Okay, I hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay, so you go ahead and talk. I think when you talk, you're on. Let me ask someone in the chat.
I'll make sure they
Hey,
can hear
hey.
everything.
So, can you guys see Raymond when she talks? Let me know. Put it like a 1 in the chat.
If they can hear me and see me, huh? This is new for me too. It's my first time. But how you been though?
Okay, they can hear you.
Okay,
I've been
good.
great, girl.
Oh, okay.
But Okay, yeah, so they can hear you and they can see you. You can have your camera on or off. It's up to you. And
Okay.
I'll let you just go ahead and start telling your story if you want, or you want to say some other things first.
Yeah, sure. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Raymond. Just to let you guys know a little bit about myself, I was born in New York, and my parents are of Haitian background. So I am Haitian. Both of my parents are Haitian, and I grew up in the household speaking Creole. So I do know about third world. My parents are from Haiti. I've been to Haiti just a couple of times. So I do know about, living in different conditions. As far as Nature Boy, I was following Nature Boy for 6 months before actually joining in as far as when he got to the point of got the land and, going to Honduras. So I was following him for a while prior to my decision to um, join and go over to Honduras with the rest of the group. So, and I've made a decision to go ahead and just kind of tell my story now, to put it behind me. I'm prepared to just put everything behind me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and just keep, move forward from it. So that's why I've made the decision to go ahead and just put it out, just tell my side. So, basically, as far as the decision to go to Honduras, I came to a point in my life where I was um, seeking knowledge, came across Nature Boy, his videos. Well, I was following him for a while. And then the Honduras decision was like, okay, wow, this is something I feel, it resonates with me. Let me go and, check it out, try it out. And I was all in. I did go ahead. I gave everything up. I had my apartment, I had a job, everything. I gave it all up and I made the decision to just, okay, this is going to be it. As far as what we were told, the land, we were going to be living on the land, trying to grow our own food and just basically not having to depend on any type of monetary system at whatsoever. So, so that's what, I was expecting. So I believe it was early August. I already had my ticket, passport. Along with me was two other young women also. For purposes of respecting their privacy, I won't speak too much on their part. I'll just, speak my part. But it was three of us. Two of us arrived on the same day, and then one more arrived the next day. The first night was amazing. I won't lie. The gentleman came, I believe, I can't remember where I flew when, but I believe it may have been La Ceiba. I can't remember. God, it's just kind of a little blur right now. But the guys did have to drive. I believe we were 6 hours from where the house was and everything. So the first night we were in a suite, like a hotel where we had a suite. Initial meeting of all the guys. It was, nice, calm. Everybody was really nice, warm, welcoming. Um, Everything was good from what I can remember. As far as some things I don't want to talk about. And okay, so fast forward to we were in this. I can't remember where we were, but we were there for a few nights. Moving forward, our travel to go over to the house in Trujillo, well, Santa Fe. We had, I remember us having like breaking down. We had like some issues, different stuff going on. I do remember connecting with Bay Virtuous Rasta. He spoke Creole, so we connected pretty well. The guys were really nice. Everybody was nice initially. Everything was going good. Nature Boy in good spirits, happy that the women were there. So everybody's just vibing. And as far as my personality, I'm more of a quiet person. I'm private. I don't, I'm not an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I have to kind of fill you out before I open up and, get comfortable and start talking and everything. So that's just how I am. I've always been this way. So we get to the house, things are going okay. I believe maybe like I can't, I don't know how many days to be certain, because I'm trying to recall like a first experience, because I would say the good, the only good that I can remember was probably the first few days, from being in the suite and everything. To be honest, that's the only good I can remember. After we got to the house, it just seemed to always be um, issues to where, as far as like, I remember we used to have like daily meetings, like in the mornings. We used to get up in the mornings and kind of have like powwows, you can call per se, or like kind of where we were digging in each person. We went around in a circle and different people, was talking about your life experience and stuff like that. And it's like you were being, Nature Boy would, give his opinion, and because it was always was, we're all here to learn, we're growing, and you are wherever you are, wherever you go, you're there. Was the saying. I can't remember. I don't. I can't remember, but wherever you go, there you are, something like that. But we used to have those regularly, in the mornings, every morning. It was constantly always, learning his teachings. Now, I had been watching Allegio, Nature Boy, for 6 months. So I basically was at a point where all of his information I had already listened, and, I knew everything already. So I was at a point of, okay, there's nothing new. So what's new? um, so he didn't like when you were not watching videos like everybody else, like if we get up in the mornings, you had some people that would be like watching his videos, and some people, doing something else. He did not like that. He'll call you out. Um, we're here to learn, and it's always an issue if you're not doing what everybody else is doing. It got to a point where I kept on being called out, because apparently he felt like I wasn't doing enough. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Like as far as like the regular stuff, cleaning up, what the women do. I feel like I've been doing that. But honestly, I feel like it was always like competition with the other women that were there. At the time, it was just three of us. So it wasn't, the connection and energy was never there, because he used to call me out on that. Why you always the only one that's always, by yourself or doing something different? I'm like, I don't know. I can't help it. I don't, I never felt like I really connected and bonded with, the other females, the other women that were there, to be honest. A couple of the guys, every now and then I'll chit chat with them. It got to a point, just the constant being called out. And I just felt like I was in a state of, okay, you know, I was uncertain, like, okay, well, what am I still doing here? Like, what is it? I wasn't sure. I just felt like I was so gone out of myself that I didn't, and I felt like I was, like I didn't know what to do, so I just would, stay in my little corner and try to kind of go with the flow and everything, to kind of, get more direction on what my purpose was of being there, further. It was uncomfortable. I think I don't think there was any outrage. I didn't see anything as far as Nature Boy. I know he tried to have the women sit down together and talk. We won't speak too much about that, but it was awkward. But fast forward to when we started getting more people coming in. Um, we had, can't remember if it was, when did you guys come, Kim? Okay, so
Um,
we took a trip when it was Kim, Monica, and Jose that were coming in. So we took a trip to La
well, I
Ceiba.
think, excuse me, right, but I think Amir and Derek came right before me and Monica and Jose.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Amir and Derek. Okay, I remember them. That was that. They were nice. They were nice. Everybody. I remember us being at the river, and Amare. I remember talking to Amare a lot. Me and him, we connected. We spoke a lot even before he came. I remember us like chatting and stuff. So he And as far as like a connection, like he's from Dominican Republic, I believe, and has some maybe connected to Haitian. I can't remember. But then, yeah, and it wasn't too much. I do remember that right before Kim and Jose and Monica came, there was something happened. Something happened to where there was a discussion being had like in the back room. And I know we were kind of sitting around, me and the women, because we were on the outside and the guys were in the other room. And, we were just kind of wondering what was going on. So come to find out, Bay Virtuous Foster was being sent home. Okay, so Kim had just arrived, and everybody was kind of in a I was in a state of shock, like what happened, like why is he going home? Like what was going on. So I'm not sure if he made the decision to leave or if he got sent. So but he did leave that day that Kim arrived. um I felt like I was so happy when there was when more females arrived, because I felt like I was not alone anymore, because I don't feel like, as far as like bonding together, like, women should. I don't feel like we had that. Like I said, it seemed like it was constant competition as far as who can get Nature Boy's attention the most, to kind of have him on your side. And it seems like they were saying and doing little things to get him to mess with me. And I don't know if it's because I wasn't like kissing his ass or whatever, because I don't do that. So it was a problem. So from what then this is when everything arises, everything starts to kind of get crazy, because when we get into Trujillo, right, that was that night that the chess game was missing. And everybody was we get to the hotel, and they wanted everybody to go back to go find it, because it was left in the reno. And Nature Boy, well, he ordered some food, and everybody was relaxed. Well, not everybody. It had been a long day, so I wanted to relax and unwind. So I know that I made a statement, because I guess some people were leaving, but Nature Boy wanted everybody to leave. And I made a statement like, well, some people, some of us got to stay because, the food is coming. So supposedly, basically, we didn't get to eat. The people that wasn't willing to ride to go to get the chessboard basically didn't get to eat. We didn't get to eat because we didn't want to go. Um, Next thing I know, I get called out of the room, and we're having basically a session. It's like an interrogation. I'm being interrogated by Nature Boy, okay, asking a whole bunch of questions. And then everybody else is just standing around looking like they're in a gaze under the spell. And I think at this point, I was out of like, I was back into myself. I feel like, as far as the spell, he was casting spells. I was under the spell. Um, I do recall when he called me and was interrogating me, everybody's just standing around. I remember him asking a whole bunch of questions. Why are you here? Like, we don't want you here. And I remember him asking everybody else, like, what do they think? Asking them, what have I done? Have I done anything? And nobody like,
Don't come over here.
defended me or said anything, like. And I was like, so y'all really gonna let him, like, he just made it seem like I was not doing anything. And in my mind, I felt like, okay, so because I'm not sleeping with you or anybody, is that not doing anything? Like, what exactly are you talking about? So I remember he was trying to get feedback. Nobody said anything though, because he's like, well, what has she done? He went to each person. Well, what has she done? What has she done? Nobody like came to back for me. And I just felt, that night I cried. I felt so hurt. I was in a point of confusion, not knowing what to do. Like, should I leave? Should I stay? But I do remember that was the night, I shared the room with you. Thankfully, you allowed me to, stay with you in your room, because afterwards it was something else happened with, when he called you, which we talked about a little bit. He found your books, and there was a problem with it,
Right.
because the books weren't allowed, and and then I just remembered the outrage as far as like when I was being interrogated. Um, I just remember looking in his eyes like, this is not the same person. This is a demon. Like, I don't know who this person I was just, but I was just really sad. I just remember going to the back of the hotel and just kind of like trying to gather my thoughts and try to figure out what I wanted to do for sure. But then, when me and you, started talking, it put me more at ease on, trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And I can't remember if it was that night he came into the room and was kind of talking to us. He was saying you were welcome to come back, but he didn't. It's like he wanted me to beg to say I wanted to stay.
Right.
Which I was confused, and I was like, I didn't want to leave yet, so I kind of went with it, and I was like, yeah, I do want to stay. I'll do more, whatever you're asking of, because I offered to give massages and everything to everyone there, because I'm good with massages. So I said, okay, well, I'll do more, I'll work harder, whatever. So moving forward, we get to the house, and this is when we really get to start, kind of bonding, kind of filling everybody out. I think, was it that night we had? No, that wasn't the night we had like a little party, you can say, kind of. Well, that was when Amun Ra'el came, but that was later on. Or
Hmm.
was it? No, that was when you guys were there, where we were playing
Yeah.
music and everything.
Yeah. Like when we got there, we had, yeah, like a little party. He turned the music on, and I think we had wine.
Yeah, so kind of bonding and everything. So that went good. Um, Moving forward, what's the next thing that I remember? I
So,
remember they had to go back and pick up another group of people. So the people that stayed, of course, he took his wives with him. Me, you, Monica, Jose, and Olmec. That's who
right.
stayed at the house. And then that's when I feel like our energies bonded, like it's like the way he made his selections, like there was some people that were more, like I said, people with different personalities. I didn't feel like I was, since I didn't get picked to go anyway, because he already had a problem with me. I was like, okay, I felt like I bonded with the people that just arrived. Okay, fine, we're gonna just have a good time. So we made the best of it, it was cool. But this is when we kind of started putting our, energy together, like, okay, what's really going on here? Even with like the things that we were being told, we were renting a house. So it was like, okay, what is the real plan? Is this what we're doing? Are we supposed to be getting the land? Even with the diet. I know Monica was just like so big on like, we're not really the stuff he talks about. He's not really living by that, so what's
Right.
going on? So, I do remember the day that it was, I can't remember how many people arrived, but Amun Rael, Yaya, and a few other people arrived that day. Um, I remember, wasn't there like a big discussion in the back room and everybody was just standing in a daze in the back room?
That was a different day. Was that the same day? Well, yeah, because when the people came, Yaya and the new people came, we went to the waterfall.
We
Then we
went to the
came back,
river.
and then they were, yeah, in the back
Yeah,
in
and
that.
everybody was getting ready to go have dinner. They were gonna get ready to go eat. So, while they were away, we already made our plans. Like, okay, we're trying to figure out, when to go. Should we tell everyone that we're leaving, or should we just leave? So we were like, okay, I think we came to the conclusion that okay, we're gonna let them know. But I remember the
Yeah,
discussion happened in the back room. I kept going in and out, and I was like, what is he talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed so irrelevant to me, but everybody, under the spell, just kind of standing there, it was just like weird. But I remember as they were leaving out, I forgot if I can't remember if it was who said what to him, but somebody told him, okay, we need to talk to you and everything. Everybody started getting into the van and everything, and he called everybody to come back. He made everybody come back. They're hungry, and he made everybody come back and was like, okay, well,
Excuse me.
put us on the spot to let everybody know, what we had to say. So, we're just sitting there like, okay, so we need to, in my mind, I was like, okay, so we need to tell everybody that we're leaving. Okay. So fine. I remember my words were, okay, well, I appreciate everything that you've done, but I feel like my journey ends here. Um, because I remember a few lectures were talk about going to Peru, and I didn't see myself going to Peru. My focus was, the land, growing food on the land, and just living, living depending, not having to, deal with the monetary system, period. So Peru was out of my mind, and I remember saying my journey doesn't take me there. I feel like this is the end of my path. This is the end of my journey here, and just that was it. Everybody said what they had to say. I remember he gave Jose some props. He tried to get Jose to stay. So when they left, Monica had to really, and this is her boyfriend, so she had to really talk to him. And we're like, how are you going to try to separate, two people that came together? But at the end of the day, we did all leave. Um, and then that's when we ended up on the beach. So this is when, the real journey really begins.
Right.
All the negative, bad, energy left behind. And not to say everybody was negative, it was, my experience. The gentlemen, like I said, were nice. Um, it seems like the other women had an issue with me the whole time, just little petty stuff, trying to, because even one of those days I remember that night that the next morning when we talked to him and we came back, somebody told Nature Boy I didn't say good morning to them, remember?
Right.
And
Yeah, I
you're the one
remember
that said
that.
I heard her, and I'm like, that's so petty. Like, why do y'all keep trying to make me look bad just so he can have a reason to stay on my case? So end of it, that was the end of it. I made a decision because I remember Nature Boy used to say, this is he used to say, this is his world, it's his world, and at the same time, oh, you're my reflection. Well, I made a decision, this is my world and I'm taking control of it. So when I made the decision to leave, it was like, okay, I'm in control of everything now, so I'm choosing to be happy and live this journey. So basically the on our way the next morning, as we were kind of heading, I think we just started walking, and then we ran
Yeah.
into Rocky. Rocky was Phoenix's friend. He was one of the guys that we used to stop by when we used to like ride past going to the house. He was they had like a lot of land like right there, not far from the house where we were renting. So I remember we went hiking that first day. They basically took us in. They're like, oh well, come on
Yeah.
over. They fed us, we ate. We went on, I can't remember if we went hiking that same day or the next day, but you were recording everything. So that's when I felt like, okay, the guys that we met, they were real nature boys to me. Being outdoors, teaching us about plants. They were really teaching us, and we were learning a lot of stuff, kind of teaching us about the sky, the rain, how to kind of like read certain things. And I was like, wow, this is what we came for, and we're still getting it. So this is what I love. Like, we were able to get out, do things, as opposed to, you know, with the
Yeah, being up
group,
in that
with the
house.
nature boy group, yes, in the house all the time, except for when we went to the river, or going to the store to buy stuff. So so those experiences were good until we found, I remember one night when I got a little, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable, so we ended up getting a hotel room. You remember that? I just didn't feel comfortable with being
Yeah,
outside on the land, and the
yeah,
guys helped us. They helped us find a hotel, and it was comfortable. And then
yeah.
after that, they helped us find that the
Cabana.
yes, and it was so nice right on the beach. It was really nice. So I
Yeah.
won't forget that. And I think what it was, it like, I stayed like, I think it was, yeah, it was like 3 weeks, and then I came back.
I think
It
you
was like
stayed
3
three
weeks.
weeks. 2
Yeah, yeah. And you talked about everything else, like as far as the beach, the experience. I remember the boat ride going there. I got sick. I got sick and I was just so embarrassed because the water was really strong. I remember the water, it was just really wavy. Strong waves. The waves were strong. But on the way back, the water was calmer, so I was okay. We made it back. We made it back good. But the people, what I learned there, I know we learned a lot about the Garifuna tribe, like the people and the land. Like Kim said, they were in the process of like fighting for their land, like fighting back for the land, because like the land where we were, the first few nights when we got with them, we were on the land, but it's like we weren't comfortable. Something wasn't right, and that's because that land, it wasn't safe for us to really be there because they had basically, they were standing ground like, okay, this is ours, because the land had already been sold basically, and they're still living there because they burned down some of the cabins that were there. I'm not sure how long ago the burning down had took place, but basically the government, somebody came on there and like was trying to kick them off to tell them to get out, but they just been standing firm, real warriors standing firm, like this is ours, we're not going anywhere. So we learned a lot about, the Garifuna tribe, the culture, their land. We saw so many beautiful things. We got out. I mean, I had a really good time. I had a really nice time. If I would have been there, if I would have stayed, I mean, I'm sure we would have learned Spanish by now because the guys were teaching us Spanish too every day. They made sure that they had like a few words for us. We agreed to learn 5 new words every day or every week, I think. And they would test us.
Yeah.
They would test us. I remember them testing us to make sure we remembered. Um, what else can I remember? I wish I would have
What
recorded
about
more. I wish I would have recorded more though,
so?
but you have most of the recordings, so.
Yeah, I have a lot of recordings. But so, how did you feel about when we went to that Plan Grande with the big rock and the little whirlpool?
That was really nice over there. I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
That was one
That
of my
was a
best
really
memories.
nice. Yeah, because the guys, what they said was to get into that town, you can't drive. You can't drive into that town. The only way in there was on boat,
Right.
So that was really interesting. Yeah, I had a nice time. That was really nice. The guys, they cooked for us. Like they really took good care of us. Like we didn't have to worry about anything, They made sure we were straight. We ate really cooking like just out of nothing. They had a few pots, made the fire with no issues. And these are men taking
They
care of
gave us all
us.
the pots and pans we needed, right? I forgot about that.
Exactly, exactly. I remember trying to cook out there. I remember trying to make a fire. It took me forever. I was like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. I remember we were right behind the high school with like some young ladies. One day they started coming, like they just came over there. They wanted to talk to us. Beautiful, beautiful young ladies just asking us, where are you from? They spoke some English, very little English, but with the little bit of Spanish we knew, we were able to communicate because they stayed and, they stayed there and talked to us for a good little while. And, came a few days and everything. So, I liked it. The environment, the culture, everybody's so friendly. Some of the things I did notice, like as far as, where they build their homes and, with the trees and the fruit on the trees, some people had a problem with you know, taking like a coconut from off of their tree if it was on their property. So as far as being able to, just grab fruit, some places there people had problems with that. They didn't like you just going, coming in their yard and grabbing their coconuts. They did not want that. So that was something to be mindful of, even on the beach too with the property. I think they had a problem with the tents after a while. I think Monica and Jose said, some people were complaining about them being out there, so they kind of like relocated to another area. So
Right.
there were some little minor issues and stuff, but for the most part, I will say we got to see a lot. We got to see a lot more, and it was a nice adventure. It really was. It really
Yeah.
was.
I mean,
So
like, it was beautiful, and then to experience it with good people too.
I
That was
know, I
good.
know.
The beginning was shaky, but in the
Right.
end, it
It
worked
paid
out.
off. It paid off exactly for
Yeah.
sure. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really think of anything else. I didn't want to dwell too much on the negative, the negative part of the experience,
Yeah.
but I guess it's just kind of out there now. So if there's, I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody, I can't see if anybody's asking any questions or anything. Like, is anybody asking anything?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, because what's going on now, because the narrative, like when we went, we went for a different reason because he talked about the land and, making an eco village and growing food and all that. But
Right.
soon after we left, that whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, well, as soon as we got there, I should say, the whole thing changed what he wanted to do. Because, like you said, he did talk about going to Peru. And
Right.
I do remember when I said, when we were leaving, and he asked us all why we wanted to leave. And I had told him, because my mind wandered,
Mm-hmm.
but I had told him, because he was talking about going to Peru. At first, I was excited, but then when I got to thinking about Peru, I'm like, man, I read some things about Peru, and then the area he was talking about going to, it just happened to
Right.
be where, a whole bunch of women, they used to sacrifice women way back in the day and stuff. And I was
I
like,
remember, yeah, I remember you said that.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that wasn't
uh,
really. And I
yeah,
remember
but
I remember him asking, well, he was acting like he really wanted the advice. Like he really I don't know. You don't remember, because I remember when you were saying what you had to say, and then somebody else said something about the food, and he was just like, okay, well, what is it that what should I change? Like, he really sounded like he wanted the advice, which I was, really, like, really, nature boy, taking some advice when it's all about what you have to say, so that was interesting. So I think they may have made some changes to what they were eating after that. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Like with the rice and beans, I don't know if they
mhm,
stopped eating. I think they were doing more potatoes later. Um, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess some of the stuff that was said, he did change. So
yeah. And another thing that he changed too was taking people's money. Well, not taking it, but asking people to donate their money once they got there. Because when we
hmm
all got there, we all got to, keep our money, or he didn't want
yes,
us to donate it.
yes, we did get to keep our money. And one thing that he did, he would offer, like in my situation, when the first time, he wanted me to leave, he offered to buy me a ticket, but I was like, no, I'm good. I got my money. I made sure I had, some money, stashed away. So I was like, no, I'm straight, just like when we took off on our own, we were fine. We didn't have to worry about anything. So, um, as far as, if I would have given my money, then things would have been different. So I'm glad. And
Right.
then, the whole thing, I know he made a video about, people came and just that wasn't, it's like you put it out there where you're welcoming, you make people feel welcome, like, don't worry about anything. And my impression is that, we're going to be living off land. Like, I was not coming to be a hindrance on somebody, having to take care of me financially. If that was the case, I would have stayed, I would have stayed in the, in the matrix, and, did that here. So it was like, feeling like a hindrance, because it's like, oh, you got to earn your pay. Like, you got to work for your food. You got to do, because it got to a point of, that's why he said I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing enough. Okay, well, what do you want me to do?
Right.
Like, if we were living on land, we wouldn't be spending money. You wouldn't have to be spending any money on it, on me or anybody else. So that
Right.
was
Just
like
keep your own.
confusing. Right. So that was confusing. But I mean, I've had thoughts, like right now, like what I will say is as far as my decision just up and leaving everything, I wish I would have thought that out. Um, now that I'm back, kind of I'm still getting situated and stuff like that. But,
Mhm.
that's something I wish I would have thought out if I was to do something like that again, on another journey. Cause I feel like, I'm, constantly growing. And I may get to a point again to where I do want to just up and leave. But in the next time, I do want to be in a better situation where I have a good amount of money, a nice amount of money. Um, he did, kind of the residual income is a good idea. But as far as timing, not a lot of people had time to really, build a residual income. So circumstances were different for people. So some people had money, some people didn't have much, some people had their last, so everybody's situation was different. But in my case, I would definitely want to have enough money to where I can build a house, at least have a house that I can build, um, to be able to go to. And in the future, I do hope to still be able to do that, have a house built there, um, so I can go to.
Yeah, I understand. Tell your sister to get you some water. Okay, there's a couple questions. Let's see. Is that what kind of livestock and pets? Well, who writes that? Beauregard. There wasn't any uh, with the Nature Boy tribe. There wasn't any pets or livestock.
Oh,
Okay.
speaking of pets, remember that dog that kind of started following us,
They
tagging along with us? We
yeah,
named her Journey.
she had puppies when I was
Oh, for
there.
real? Are you serious? Oh
Yeah, she
my
had puppies.
goodness. Who
Mhm.
kept them? Did the guys keep them?
Yeah, Rocky kept them.
Oh, that
So
is so
a few of
cute.
them didn't make it, but yeah.
That's why she was kind of sick, looking like she was sick and stuff, huh? Oh, that's so
Yeah, like
cute.
five.
That's nice.
Hold on, boy. Okay, let's see. There's another one. Did he ever abandon anyone without helping them get back to the States?
Not that
Did
I
he?
know of, no.
Yeah, I think he offered everyone a ticket
Yeah.
and wanted to go
That
back.
was in the beginning when he still had the money though, so
Yeah.
I don't know how that played out later on for people after. I think, but yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I'm glad you came on, told your part, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's still so much more. There's still so much juicy parts, but like I said, I just don't want to dwell. Maybe one day I'll do like a book or something. Like I've been saying I do want to write it. Amare wrote a book. And
mhm.
he puts like he has me in there and everything, and I'm like, some of that information is not as accurate though, but I'm not gonna be all nasty about it. I'm just like, like we said, everybody has their own perspective, so that's why I went ahead and spoke on my part. So everybody's opinion is going to be different as far as like their experience. So, that was pretty I like it. I did support him, and maybe one day I'll come out, and be more detailed in writing.
Yeah, it might turn into a movie. Who knows?
I know, like all of
The
it,
gemstones of our era,
yes,
but it
follow.
turned differently.
Yeah. And I did want to talk about, I forgot to
Stop.
mention, there was
They
a
need to
lady
stop.
that came, um, to respect her privacy, I won't say her name, but she came for a few days. She was real sweet. Before anyone else started coming, she came for a few days. I bonded with her, and that was a problem when I bonded with her. But maybe one day she'll come out and speak too. She was there a few days. and we talked a little bit, and you know, she saw what I saw. So after speaking with her, I know the way I was feeling. I know I wasn't tripping. I know it wasn't me. Like, I know I wasn't going crazy or anything. So, because I was able to kind of get another perspective from the outside, you know, somebody that was outside looking in. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you mentioning her. She
hmm
wasn't there that long. Because she had like a family and stuff, and she was going to bring them later or something.
yeah, she was thinking about bringing them later. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
We actually, I remember one day we went to the beach, and we were walking around. She asked some people about like some land, you know, asking them about the costs of like building, and like, you know, cost of land and everything too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but that's all I have right now that,
All
you know,
right.
I
Well,
can
that was
think of.
cool. You got to say your piece. So,
Yeah, I don't know what else. I can't think of
good.
anything else, but yeah, I do feel relieved that I did get that out. So,
And
if
those are the
anything
only
else,
questions I had. That only questions that I seen in the chat. Y'all got any questions out there? Hey, everybody.
I know I've been watching everybody's videos. I do watch Black Ink. I do
Yeah.
watch Digital Pit Boss too. So I like them.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the Digital Pit Boss. Shout out to
Yes,
Shout out to
yeah, doing their
Repeat
thing.
Rise, Kadena Star. I made you a monitor too. I figure I might need one. I don't know, but I said if I do, I made you one. I tried to do other people, but I couldn't. Y'all names wouldn't come up.
Well, I might try to look them up because I don't know. I don't know all those people, but I'll look them up.
Well, Cardina, she's in the chat. Uh, Wigs and like clothes and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
And yeah, some real good, cute wigs. And so I was like, I might have to give me a couple to throw on here and there. When I change my look to look good.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's nice. I'll check out the attire.
yeah. But there's
Yeah.
so some good channels. Um, and especially if you want to build some stuff.
Right,
Uh,
right.
channel. All right, let me see. I'm not sure if the other lady or not. I'll send her the link because I was
Who's
just
that, Monica?
no, not Monica. Anatsu.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, it's hard. I always have issue with saying her name.
Hmm. Well,
Let
all
me.
right. I guess I'll
So
jump off. Did you want me to stay on or?
that's up to you. If you want to stay on, I'm just sending this link to her,
Okay.
and if she comes on, she comes on. Hopefully soon. If not, you know,
Yeah, it was
that's the end of the
nice. It
show.
was nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
you
for
feel ready to
having me
set
on
off?
your platform, and I'll keep watching your videos.
Oh, you're welcome. You're
I'll watch
welcome.
them. I support you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I see you've been doing your yoga.
Yes,
And
I've been slacking a little bit. You know, I got to get back on it, though. I've been slacking, so I got to get back on it. Definitely. It makes
yeah,
the difference for sure.
that's cool. All right.
All
Well,
right.
nice. Thanks for joining us, Ray. I'm glad
Definitely.
you came on. And it's good to see your face again.
You too. You too.
And I'm still coming. It's just
Okay.
things is just, you know what I'm saying? So,
I know
but I'll
what you
be there.
mean. All right,
I'll be
then. Well,
there.
take care.
All right, sis. All
Okay.
right. Love you.
Love you too. Peace.
All right. Peace. All right, everyone else. Um, I sent the link to the other lady from the group. I'm not sure if she's going to come on. I talked to her. Well, she sent messages. We chatted earlier. We'll see. I just sent it. Y'all supposed to be laying there. Okay, hold on. All right, let me pull up this chat. Yeah, yoga's good, especially for a stress reliever. And then, it helps your body. That stretching is really good. Fun part. Be fun to party with. Natureboy. I don't know. Depends on what you call a party. Because, yeah. What was his philosophy on children? Oh, his philosophy on children. Well, he allowed children to go in the beginning. But then, he didn't want to deal with, from my point of view, I don't think he really wanted to deal with the aspects of having children there because that was a lot of extra responsibility. There's things you couldn't really do and all that kind of stuff. That's my point of view. Hey, everybody leave. While you talking about black and you can't come on here talking about my homie. You say that to his face. Let's see. Like you talking about black ink too? Okay. Okay, well, she ain't hit me back up. Let me see. Because she might not come because she was still kind of contemplating, and I told her just let me know. If she wanted to, she didn't have to. It was her choice. I just asked her if she wanted to. But, so, yeah. Is she coming? Is she on here? Well, folks, these kids is having too much fun too while I'm doing this. They ain't paying attention. Oh, thank you, Polite. You can't troll me. That's real good. Peace, so alchemy. What's that? So let's see. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she's coming. I'm gonna give her like 5 more minutes. Yeah, because she was kind of conflicted. There's a few reasons why she wants to tell her story, but she don't. Because of other people involved. Okay, hold on, y'all. My mute was on, sorry, y'all. I'm reading the questions here. These kids. I'd be scared to leave the USA. I heard a lot of people say that. Like my mom, She does not want to leave the U.S. And I don't understand it, but she's like, no. I try to ask her why to explain, you know, she don't want to leave the U.S. But like staying in the U.S. is like staying in your room all your life. If you don't go other places, how can you really understand anything? You know, because you only have one viewpoint. You know, when you go other places and stuff, you get to see different viewpoints of things. Ah, well, that's understandable than to have, you know, a concern about leaving. But you shouldn't ever be scared, you know. You got to work through those fears because, you know, the things that happen there, that happened to them there, that could easily happen here. So, you know, kind of think about things like that. I'm like, okay, so let me put y'all on mute so I take care of these kids. Dang, I keep forgetting I'm not. I keep forgetting I put the mute on, but I'm reading you guys' comments and stuff. And it's like, I believe it's much more out there in the U.S., but it can be scary. It can be a little scary. I wouldn't say, well, for some people, scary. Sit down, little girl. Put that phone down. Okay. Yeah, because, you know, it's different from what you know. So, you know, but you just got to go for it. You got to think positive and be prepared. I hardly ever do organized tours. Huh? I don't understand. You said you hardly ever do organized tours? I strike out on my own. Yes. I like doing things I haven't done before, and I try to do things, you know, that I do have a fear of. I try to do things. If I have a fear of something, I try to get rid of that fear. But some fears are healthy, but some fears are not, you know what I'm saying? And if it's just because you haven't done anything before, then you got to step outside of that. Okay, well, folks, I don't think she's coming. She ain't even looked at it. And she knew about the show when I reached my destination. Oh, yeah, there's travel agencies that set up things. I really haven't used a travel agency before. I just been, you know, because I love to travel. My grandfather called me a gypsy when I was like in my 20s because, you know, I was everywhere. But I love traveling and I'm not scared to go places. You know what I'm saying? Now, I try to be aware of my surroundings and all that stuff. And, you know, be as safe as I can. All right, folks. she's not coming. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. And, you know, I'm going to give y'all some yoga tomorrow. Yeah, I'll give y'all some yoga tomorrow. All right, so stay well. All right, so good night, all.